Hi everyone. We have been talking about contours, continuous line contours, blind contours, volumetric contours, and here I'm going to try with a marker a continuous line contour, not a blind one. I'll do that in a minute, but this is where I'm going to be looking at the object and then looking at my picture plane. But I want to look at my picture plane maybe only like 10% of the time, 20% of the time. I want to focus most of my attention on my subject. I put a little box here just so I could prop this up so I can have a better relationship so I'm not having major distortion with the paper down flat. In your kit, you have these 4 markers. We've got a soft brush, a soft chisel, and a brush pen. And then a 1.5, and I'm going to use this 1.5, which is more like a Sharpie, to start, and then I'll see maybe what happens with like my soft brush, if I can get something a little more calligraphic and a little more delicate. So the goal here is really not about the end product, it's more about learning to see. However, these can result in some fairly cool drawings. So I'm going to try and start with the top of the subject and work my way down, or I could start with the bottom and work my way up. I'm a little intimidated by the cylinder, so I think if I draw this organic form first, it'll help me figure out where to place my cup. So the trick here is to try not to pick up your pencil or your pen, and to kind of trace things slowly back and forth until you get the right proportions. So in our gesture drawings that we had done before with the vine charcoal, we had kind of made little maps. We would say, okay, if I put the tip of the flower here, or the mint leaf here, and it comes down to here with the cup, I should have enough room to fit it. So I want to try and fill the page, but I don't want to lose the subject. All right, so here we go. I'm going to spend a little time looking, getting myself used to it. I'm also going to look and see, like if I drew these this little, then I have these big ones, bigger, bigger, and then the cup. Okay, so it's like it was a kind of invisible gesture. Here I go. So I'm drawing these forms kind of like they're see-through. This gives me a chance to kind of slow down and think about where I want things to exit the form. It gives me a chance to go slow and say, okay, that petal is a little bigger. This one is underlapped behind this one. I can think about the angle of the stem. I can see what overlaps and underlaps where. I can't see the edge of that petal, but I'm going to draw through it as if I could. Oops, that was too high. Too low, I mean. So I'm going to move it. So a little petal here, this comes out. The stem is getting a little thicker. I can see that this leaf underlaps through here, but I'm just going to draw through it as if it were transparent. I'm getting close to my cup. This petal here, or leaf, cuts in front of the cup, and that's going to be really helpful for me. There's this one that has some holes in it from the bugs. Okay, so now I've got something touching the cup, so I can see that this cuts through here. I'm going to draw it like it's see-through, comes and tucks back behind. I'm helping by seeing where this ends and how it relates to the edge of the cup. Kind of correct it some. There's a lip on the front of the cup and one on the back. I think I am going to stop there because I don't have the data yet on the leaf, so I'm going to come back up to here, kind of reorient myself. I can see where this one ends in relationship to that edge of that petal leaf. Now I've got the leaf that goes dips into the water, so that's helpful. By having these little leaves come out through here, this is going to help me get a feel for where the cup will end and begin. There's another one tucked through here. Hi Henry, I'm on a video. Can I talk to you in just a second? Okay, so now that I have this pretty well put in there, here's where the water distorts. I'm going to draw the water. I can see the back of the water. Kind of refix some of this stuff. So here's where the end of the stem breaks out and the water distorts it, and it got a little bigger and touches the end of the cup. I can see where the end of the cup comes up behind here. Let me make it a little bigger. Oops, yeah, bigger here. So add a little. And I've got all kinds of crazy reflections in here. So I'm not really thinking of them as just reflections. I'm just looking at where there's some dark and light shifts. And these are going to help me kind of make up where the cup goes. And then I would know that this one was one where I kind of had a mix up. So I might put a little mark making in there just to kind of finish it out. Okay, I think that's about it. Oh, there's another, I missed one. There's like a reflection that comes under here. All right, so that gives us a sense of how we can do a continuous line contour where I'm spending most of the time looking at this and then a little bit of time looking at this. We could see later how I would need to kind of fix some things. Use that little bit of fun mark making to kind of delete, edit, and hide where some edges go, and that gives us a good sense of a continuous line contour. Okay, we'll meet back up and I'll do a blind one in a minute.